Black civil rights attorney Marcus Ellison is slammed onto courthouse pavement by a police officer, while security cameras capture everything. Footage goes viral, exposing injustice and sparking nationwide outrage as the truth shocks everyone. But what happens next changes everything. Start from the beginning. Rain poured over the courthouse steps as attorney Marcus Ellison rushed inside to file urgent civil rights motions. He was respected, experienced, and known for challenging police misconduct cases. At the entrance, two officers stopped him. "Step aside," Officer Halcomb ordered. Marcus stayed calm. "I'm an attorney. I'm expected inside." But Halcomb's tone sharpened. "You match a description." Witnesses gathered as Marcus tried to show his ID. Before he could fully reach his pocket, Halcomb shouted, "He's reaching." In seconds, Marcus was slammed face-first onto the pavement. Gasps erupted. His briefcase burst open, papers scattering into the rain. "I'm not resisting," Marcus shouted. But the officer pressed his knee into Marcus's back while bystanders recorded everything. A courthouse security camera quietly captured the entire scene from above. Among the crowd, students from a nearby school stood frozen in shock. One whispered, "That's a lawyer, why are they doing that?" Marcus lay there stunned, not just by pain, but by how quickly he had been seen as a threat instead of a professional. And none of them realized yet, the cameras above the courthouse had recorded every second clearly. By nightfall, a student-recorded video spread across social media. Within hours, it went viral. "Black lawyer slammed outside courthouse" trended nationwide. Marcus sat in a holding room, bruised and handcuffed, listening to internal affairs claim the officer followed protocol. Marcus shook his head. "Protocol? I was cooperating." Outside, crowds gathered. Protesters demanded answers. News channels replayed the footage non-stop. At home, Marcus's family watched in silence. His son Jamal finally asked, "Why do they always see us like that?" Denise held him tightly. "Because some people see fear before truth." Then came the turning point. The courthouse released official security footage, clear, high definition, and undeniable. Unlike the viral clip, it showed everything: Marcus compliant, calm, never resisting. Officer Halcomb's voice echoed clearly. "People like you always think rules don't apply." The internet exploded again, but this time, the narrative shifted. And Marcus received a call from a federal judge requesting an emergency court review. Something bigger was coming. Courtroom 4B was packed. Cameras, journalists, community members, all waiting. Judge Evelyn Brooks ordered the courthouse footage played. The room went silent. Marcus appeared on screen walking calmly. No aggression. No resistance. Then the officer's voice filled the courtroom again. "Stop resisting before you start." Gasps spread through the room. The video zoomed in. It clearly showed Marcus never reaching aggressively, never resisting, just confusion before being slammed violently to the ground. A witness in the audience whispered, "That wasn't policing, that was judgment." Even the jury members looked shaken. Then something unexpected appeared. The officer's partner on video tried to intervene moments before the takedown. "He's complying," the partner had warned. Judge Brooks stopped the footage. Her voice was cold. "This is a violation of civil rights." Halcomb sat frozen, realizing there was no defense left. The case was no longer about accusation. It was about undeniable evidence. The courtroom ruling changed everything. Federal charges were recommended against Officer Halcomb. Outside, protests turned into a nationwide movement demanding accountability. Marcus stood before reporters, but his voice was calm, not angry. "If there had been no camera," he said, "I'd be the one blamed." At home, his family finally exhaled after weeks of pressure. His son looked at him differently now, not just as a father, but as someone who endured injustice and didn't break. Even Halcomb later admitted during hearings, "I stopped seeing people as individuals. That was my failure." The moment became part of national debate on policing and bias. But Marcus didn't focus on revenge. Instead, he built a legal support foundation for victims of wrongful arrests. Months later, he stood in a community hall filled with students, activists, and families. They tried to erase the truth in seconds, he said, but truth doesn't disappear when cameras are rolling. Applause filled the room. And for Marcus, justice wasn't just a verdict anymore. It was a responsibility.